This time, we're actually making Ossobuco, which is usually made with veal, but in this case, we're making it with bison shanks. Ossobuco is a northern Italian braised meat dish. So it's a very old dish. In fact, it comes in two varieties. You have Ossobuco in Blanco, which actually has cinnamon, bay leaf, and veal. And then you have the modern version of Ossobuco, which is tomatoes, onions, vegetables, and veal shank. Ossobuco is Italian for bone with a hole, and that actually refers to the tibia or humerus that you see in the shank. And so there's a nice hunk of marrow. This is the most prized part of Ossobuco, is this marrow once it's done braising. So this is a very densely muscled cut, and this is really tough initially. With braising, this is going to become very flavorful and very tender. The shank comes from something similar to your forearm or your calf. So if you cut sections of your forearm and calf, that's where this comes from. These are cuts of meat that were the throwaway. They weren't considered the prime cuts of meat. So poor people had to take these secondary or tertiary cuts and make them delicious. Use bison shank. This is going to be much heartier than the veal. The veal's a very delicate flavor. This is going to be a much heartier flavor. So instead of using the traditional white wine, we're going to substitute with a dry red wine. So that's going to make this a much heartier dish than traditional Ossobuco, but the bison will be delicious. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to dredge these beautiful bison shanks in a little bit of flour, salt and pepper, cook them in a Dutch oven, brown them, put the vegetables in, and then braise it in the oven for about 3 hours. Along with the Ossobuco, we're actually going to do the traditional topping, which is gremolata, which is lemon peel, parsley, and garlic that we put on top of this once it's all done. Great thing about Ossobuco, like almost all braised dishes, it's better the second and third day than it is the initial day.